start off going into the SP compressor, and then I go Prism, Octafuzz, Sweet Tea, Morning Glory. Now, the Prism I use to kind of control volumes, like gain levels between guitars. I use a couple different guitars, so this helps me kind of even that out as it hits the rest of the pedals. Something's a little bit lower gain of a guitar, I can kind of boost that up a little bit. Brighter, it's just great, love it. I can control that. So that's almost always on. And then I use the Morning Glory as a stage 1, and then I push the Morning Glory. That might be different, but I really like the way the Morning Glory sounds, so I keep that on. This first row then goes into an effects loop. I have a little patch bay here that kind of helps me organize everything. So it's really nice. It goes into the out, and then that goes all the way through all that, and then into the Kemper. And currently I'm using a 65 AC30 by Brian Carl. There's no effects at all that are going through the Kemper. I just right now use it as an amp. I was using the Kemper remote, but I switched my board because I enjoy all these knobs. And this really helps me be able to have a quick access of changing something. I don't have to worry about going back to the Kemper and doing anything like that. I can really have a lot of control and tweakability. I am a tweaker, and so this works out best. Now, one of the things I lost in that is the ability to make huge changes on the fly. So, you know, going from one really different sound to another. I regained that in the effects loop, for me anyways. So when I come back into here, I go back into, that went out, went to the Kemper, then comes back into the effects loop. Volume pedal is a volume pedal. Then I have the HX Stomp. And so the HX Stomp has been really helpful for me. It is one of the most amazing and versatile pedals. I use this in 2 different ways. First, I have it in a place in the effects loop where I can make huge changes really quickly. Especially as a worship leader, I have it set where I can turn on multiple ambient effects really quick with just hitting one button, and they all turn on, and it's fantastic. So I do that. The other thing is I use it as my amps. If I don't want to bring the Kemper somewhere and I'm just doing like a quick rehearsal, or even if I'm traveling and playing at a place and I just have to bring less, I can just bring my board, and my board will do everything. So I can run all my amp sounds right here, and I just bypass this effects loop. So I'll just get a little patch cable and just go out and back in and just bypass that whole thing. So then this can be my amp sounds, all my effects sound. And that's why this is in the effects loop of the HX Stomp. So I obviously want this to go in stereo for all of its effects, and this is a mono pedal, and I want it to boost for guitar solos. So I have this in the effects loop so I can put it after an amp if I'm using this as an amp sim. So that's kind of complicated, I know, but regardless, I can use this for massive changes, EQs, and I also use it for amps. HX Stomp is my major change into the board, and I am loving it. Then it goes out in stereo at this point, and then it will go into the Timeline, the Big Sky, and then it goes out to there. Oh, one other thing about the HX Stomp is, you might be wondering what this guy is. I have this set up where it just goes to a patch number here. So I can go to different patches and make a big change. So I can do that and have all that preset stuff there. So that's a preset button, hence the money sign. And it's my bank. So there's the update that I have for my board. It was difficult to get rid of the Kemper remote. I enjoyed, you know, being able to switch from one amp to another, or a major sound difference. However, when I was just sitting down to play, I found it less inspiring, and so this is something that I did just so that way when I sit down, I have more creative ideas and help my creative workflow. Now, I know I didn't show you how this sounds, so if you go to the video that will be right here, you can check out how the whole rig sounds, and I will give a quick demo.